the most glamorous woman in history, Marilyn Monroe. Ironically,
She was
perhaps
also
the
a
most
remarkable
unfortunate
actress.
woman in American history. She was born in California in 1926 to a mentally ill mother. Never knowing who her father was, her mother had spent a night with a man she barely knew and became pregnant with Marilyn. Unable to raise a child due to her unstable mental state, the authorities separated Marilyn from her mother. She spent her childhood moving through 10 foster homes and 5 orphanages. As an orphan, she hated her circumstances so much that, even after becoming a successful actress, she would recall, "Being sent to the orphanage was worse than going to hell. When I was drunk, I would ask strangers on the street to be my mum or dad." During this difficult period, in her first foster home, she was sexually assaulted at the age of 8 by a man she called father. Though her biological mother was alive, the absence of a father figure might explain why every man she later married was at least 10 years older than her. In her youth, Marilyn worked at a factory making drones. A photographer from the US military came to shoot the factory, and it was there that she was discovered and drawn into the entertainment world. She became widely known for her image as a dumb blonde, but in reality, Marilyn was intelligent and well-read. Hollywood packaged her into that blonde, bombshell image, and her career took off. Many men surrounded her, drawn to her beauty. One persistent suitor visited her house every morning with roses. He was none other than Joe DiMaggio, a once great, now retired New York Yankees hitter. Over 10 years her senior, swayed by his fatherly charm, she married him in 1954. At the time, she was at the height of her career. And soon after marriage, Joe's jealousy surfaced. If she so much as spent time around other men, he would lash out with verbal and physical abuse. On their honeymoon in Japan in 1954, the US military invited her to perform for American troops in South Korea, where the war had just ended. Joe refused, saying they were on their honeymoon, not there to work. But when a military officer told him, "I wasn't talking to you, I was asking your wife," Marilyn agreed to go. Joe, enraged, assaulted her, although he would always kneel and beg forgiveness afterward. The abuse continued. The breaking point came during the filming of The 7-Year Itch in New York, where thousands of men gathered to watch her famous skirt scene. Joe reacted violently, and Marilyn decided to divorce him. Soon after, another man entered her life, Arthur Miller, America's most celebrated playwright. Known for Death of a Salesman, he too was 10 years older than Marilyn. He wooed her with poems, appealing to her intellect. Marilyn left her career behind to start a family with him, and soon became pregnant. But after the pregnancy, Arthur changed. One day, Marilyn found a note he had written to a friend, speaking badly of her. The shock led her to miscarry. From then on, she relied heavily on alcohol. The marriage ended in divorce on January 20th, 1961. Meanwhile, in Washington, D.C., John F. Kennedy had been elected President of the United States. The Kennedy brothers had learned womanizing from their father. Robert Kennedy, the Attorney General, and President John F. Kennedy heard of Marilyn's divorce and invited her to their California estate. Over the next year, both brothers had affairs with her. When word of these relationships risked being exposed, they tried to erase all traces. The mafia, which disliked the Kennedys, had been wiretapping and leaked the scandal. Facing political danger, the brothers sent Marilyn to Mexico. In Mexico, a Russian spy approached her, seeking information about JFK's plans to use tactical nuclear weapons against Cuba. But the FBI, already tapping her phone, uncovered this. FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover pressured the Kennedys to cut ties with her, and they told Marilyn it was over. Enraged, Marilyn confronted them. On August 5th, 1962, news broke of her sudden death. initially ruled a barbiturate overdose. New mafia wiretap recordings have since surfaced. On August 4th, the day before her death, Robert Kennedy visited her Los Angeles home, urging her to end the relationship. She threatened to go to the press. He responded with violence, then returned to Washington around 8 p.m. About an hour later, her physician visited and found her in good health around 10 p.m. He called her housekeeper, who said Marilyn's bedroom door wouldn't open. He told her to leave Marilyn alone, assuming she was asleep. The next morning, she was found dead. The autopsy revealed a barbiturate level, equivalent to 10 lethal doses in her blood. Such a dose would normally damage the stomach lining, yet hers was intact, a strange detail. Although further investigation was requested, the FBI ignored it and closed the case. She was only 36 years old. Of her short life, 20 years were spent in orphanages. And the rest, though glamorous on the outside, were filled with misery. On the back of some of her photos, the word hope was written. The following year, on November 22, 1963, John F. Kennedy was assassinated by Lee Harvey Oswald. 6 years later, on June 6, 1968, Robert Kennedy was also assassinated. No one alive today knows the full truth. Known as the sex symbol of the century, perhaps she was, in reality, the most unfortunate woman in the world. What do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe.